I've never done any streaming like myself.
Dude, it's no fun at all. It's no fun at all. But you do a lot of interviews, man. I was able to watch a lot of interviews of you and everything, man. Sorry, my chair is loud as shit.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let me play the intro and we'll be gone. All right, welcome to ChatN Out. We're talking to a comic today named Ethan Feldman. Don't confuse him for Corey Feldman. I was gonna steal one of your jokes right there. I was gonna give you credit for it, but I really think you ought to lean into that, man. You can go out to every show with like a Michael Jackson style hat every time, dude.
I know, yeah, I do say that sometimes. Like that did happen to be on a show once, and it was funny because it was like totally like an innocent thing. It was actually at this comedy festival in the Portland, Maine Comedy Festival, and the host on the show was like, I guess because I was living in New York at the time, and she was like, "All right, guys, we have a New York comedian. Give it up for Corey Feldman." But like, there was a comic on the show named Corey, and she just crossed our names together. Like, we just made like an innocent mistake.
Didn't you say that she ended up Googling you? And
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's why I was holding it in because I was like, oh, the Google line's gonna come because I knew he was like, she ended up Googling me and said, I'm sorry.
yeah. After my set, like she was like, I didn't know who that was, but I just Googled him, and I feel really bad right now for saying that.
No, dude, my name is Keenan, so it's really funny how surprised people are that I'm a white dude a lot of times. So, like they're
Yeah,
like, oh, like my wife would say, oh, I just got married to this guy named Keenan, and people would be surprised. I thought, oh, now we know you're a racist. No, she was just, I just didn't know she was kind of racist, and that's a different story for a different day. But this is ChatN Out, and what we want to do here is just kind of have a conversation, definitely highlight some of the things that you're doing. I just don't want it to be boring though. I don't want it to be boring.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean like you. I'm talking about me. I don't want to ask you boring questions. So where are you from? Although I do want to know how'd you how'd you go ahead and retire to Florida already? I thought it was like you had to wait a couple years to do that, but you retired early. It sounds like you went from New York to Florida, and now you're just living the life with your kids.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like written in the Torah or something that I'm supposed to be in Florida. But I mean, because I have a lot of relatives that do live there, but they're like in more like Jacksonville and like Fort Lauderdale area, more Jewy areas. I'm in Central Florida, but it's actually like I'm still like working. I wish I was retired. It's not that exciting of a story, but like during 2020, at the beginning of 2020, I had worked it out with my company to work remotely for a month because we had to go down to Central Florida where my wife grew up and get some work done on her house. And then COVID hit and everything went remote and we just stayed here.
Well,
That was it.
everyone has a plan, dude. You don't have what is that saying? People make plans while like God just laughs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to get religious on it. I'm just saying. I just thought of that. I just heard that the other day on something I was watching. And you do a lot of interviews, man. And I gotta say, watching your interviews like a couple weeks ago helped me decide how I don't want to be in this show because there was one interviews where the guy's like, "Hey, Reno, mess up where you've done and everything." I was like, "I don't want to do all that, man. I don't want to do all that." But you've done a crap ton of festivals. It sounds like you're working all the time. How different or how big of adjustment has it been going from? Of course, you did it in COVID, but I mean, New York is a huge comedy town, and
Yeah. It's actually interesting because to me, New York was like, yeah, I started comedy in New York, and it's like it's changed. Like a lot of comics in New York are also Jewish, and Central Florida, it's not that Jewy of an area. So like, I just like that word. I just like that word. Jewy.
You're a good man. You use whatever word you
Yeah.
want. Better to use than me. That's why I'm not moving my lips so the algorithm doesn't get it confused.
Yeah. It's interesting because being down here, I'm kind of like a diversity act in this area of Florida where I'm like, it's like, oh, this is the ethnic part of the crowd, even though I just look like any other white guy, really. But so that's my act has changed a little bit where I've leaned more into Jewish stuff since moving down here. And the thing I've noticed is like when I was in New York doing comedy, I was doing open mics, I was doing all these showcases, and you're getting up on stage a lot, but the quality of the stage time isn't as good actually because there's a million things to do in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Open mic comedy is not on most people's list of, well, let's go check out an open mic, as non-performers. So most of the open mics, like I would, I hosted a mic at a comedy club for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was always all comedians. But the comedy club in our town, I live in Winter Haven, Florida. It's called Laugh Out Lounge. They have crowds at like all of their mics, like real crowds, people that come out to watch the open mic. And that's just like so like foreign to me, because I've heard like in New York and LA it's very similar, where it's like mostly just comics working on their stuff, getting on stage, trying to like work out their bits. But and you never really get like, you can get a good idea of what is working, what's not working. But here it's like you have real audiences to like actually give you actual feedback. So it's like pretty nice actually. That's
Oh
what.
yeah, I completely understand that. I've only done like maybe 3 open mics, but there was mostly comedians, maybe 1 or 2 regular people. Most of the time I get is doing YouTube live or going on Plausible or something like that, because I got a kid. I got too much going on, man. So I do want to talk about your Dr. Oz interview. That's a great story. And I told another comedian that you got. I was like, I'm surprised you shared the building with us. I was like, well, that's kind of it was a whole family thing, dude. I get what you're saying, but come on, man.
Yeah, that was like there's a comedian I know in New York who posted on Facebook like, I'm looking. Well, there's a casting call of people that have eczema, and I had been doing a joke about having eczema, and I was like, oh yeah, I should do this. So I applied. They did like a Skype interview with me. Um, they sent me eczema cream in the mail and had me and my wife and our daughter use it, and then go on the show to like show that like it worked basically.
Did it work? Would it for real work?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I still have
all
it. Like, they gave me 2 bottles of it, and like I put it on in the mornings, and it seemed like it's actually not that bad right now. I used to get it like all under my arms and stuff.
right. I got my ex-wife used to call me alligator skin. I don't think I technically have eczema, but I got some dry ass skin, dude. And I don't like lotion. Fuck lotion. I do want to talk about. I saw the Bravo thing with you making the terrible Jewish cake, and I'm an ex-chef. I'm a retired chef, and I used to work for a Jewish catering company, so I've made that cake a couple times, my man. So I
Yeah,
know how terrible it is. I'm really surprised that everybody gave. Like I would have like right away be like, "This is not our cake, dude. You are a liar." This like I was very surprised that everyone believed you.
yeah. I know. It's like if you've ever had, like you've had, like it's very dense because you can't use real flour, so it's like it's never been good. And I just was like, like I just didn't say anything because I didn't want to. If I kept saying something, I'd get, I would dig myself a hole even deeper, and I just figured if I just didn't say
I mean,
anything.
when you lie, you say the least amount of stuff possible. Be like, "Oh no, I just found a great cake. I don't even remember where I got it from. I have no idea."
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I made I used to my final job was working for a Jewish catering company. So we used to, I mean, all the Jewish high holidays, we used to work our asses off and made a million pot roasts, kugel, fucking oh my god, man, so much, so much. I mean, kugel is actually one of my favorite things ever. You can't like sweet pasta. Let's go. That's a great thing.
yeah, like potato kugel. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, there's actually like a lot of pretty decent Jewish food. People sometimes it doesn't get the respect I think it
Oh
deserves.
no! I actually burned the shit out of my hand doing some potato latkes because we'd have to do them like in small fryers and not mess it up. And one day I put it in and it just like splashed bad on me. I was like, you lucky motherfuckers! But it is what it is. It is what it is. I do want to talk about a couple of things. Let me see. Let me see. I'm sorry, I have stuff written down because I'm stupid. Where's your? I saw your voiceover stuff. Are you really into the voiceover thing now? Because what is the Northwestern Insurance?
Yeah, I did some. I did some work for them. Like that was just something that came up because my old office manager at my job knew people, and that's all I've ever done. But I thought I had a good time doing it. I'd probably do more if I had connections to it or something because I enjoyed it.
Dude, what's that thing called where you can go and hire? It's something where you can hire create. I paid a lot when I first started YouTube. I spent a lot of money on the thing.
What
You,
was
you
it, like Fiverr or Upwork or something?
Yeah, I think it's something like I could look it up. I have it say Fiverr. Yeah, Fiverr. I spent a lot of money on Fiverr for people doing, basically just selling AI music and giving me stupid stuff, making me pay money. But I had no idea what I was paying for, dude. So I mean, I'd make the money on it, dude. Amazon. Did you do comedy on Amazon that we can go and look? Because I tried to see where. Because I saw the Amazon in the bio, but I couldn't.
Yeah. So this was like 2018. There was this comedy festival that I did called the Turnpike Comedy Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is on Amazon Prime. It's called the Turnpike Comedy Festival.
Okay.
In New Jersey. If you look at it, it's still up there. It's 2 episodes, and the second episode I'm the first comic on it. I mean, it's 5 minutes. It's only a 5-minute set, but it's still on Prime.
Dude, you got some credits. I mean, 5 minutes or not. I mean, you're on the screen places. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, I laughed my ass off on that, bro. I was like, and I was watching. I was like, dude, how old was this? Like, what year was that, man?
That was like 2017, I think.
That's it, dude. You look young as you look like a child in that one. I was like, what's going on here? And it's on Bravo. It's like I thought it was like 2010 or something. Like this guy's been doing it for a while somehow. How's that?
Oh no, yeah, that was 2017. I want to say it's 2017.
That was hilarious stuff, and all your links are in my description there. And I'm gonna repost it, and dude, it's all your stuff is absolutely hilarious. And you're on Sirius XM. You've been on there because I saw a video of you like doing your set in front of it, but I guess you're also on like the Comedy Channel or something like that.
Yeah, it was on. So there was a show that I did. There was a comedian named Jay Nog from New York who runs all these shows. I don't know if he still does it, but there was a show that he did in New York called Paid or Pain. It was at New York Comedy Club, and it's the concept. It's a late night, like midnight show. There's 4 contestants, and you either get paid $20. You do your set. You either get paid $20, or you get beaten by a dominatrix. And they tape all the episodes for Sirius XM, and it airs on channel Raw Dog 99. I think 99 is like Raw Dog Comedy, the channel that it airs on. But I had a really good set, but the audience was like torn. They half wanted me to get paid, half wanted me to get paid. So I ended up getting paid and paid. I got both.
Oh my gosh, man, that was a genuine, absolutely laugh out loud. That is not. I'm not lying at all. That is not. That is. That is. How long have you been doing comedy, by the way? We didn't. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible interview. I'm sorry about that, but
yeah, I started in 2016. I started in 2016, but I took off a little bit of time. Like when I first moved down to Florida, that was like March 2020, and I wasn't really doing a whole lot of in-person comedy during like COVID. Right. And then when Laugh Out Lounge first opened at Winter Haven, it opened in October 2021, and then I went to I went to my first open mic. Their second open mic they ever ran back in like November 2021. So there was a period of 21 months that I like wasn't getting on stage during that time, right. Other than Zoom, which was like not great.
Dude, it's tough. I have MS, so I'm disabled. So, but I can't walk around. It just looks like I'm drunk. But I do a lot of stuff from here, and it's just so impersonable to do these things. And that plausible thing, I got on like an open mic thing, and where they like kind of critique you and everything. And somebody said a joke about transition, and they were like, "Oh, I don't really know what that means," and blah blah blah. I was like, "Look, guys, are you like saying that he should change that because you don't know what it means, or like other people don't know what it means?" Because I've had my daughter say stuff like that to me about like, "Hey, my friend's transitioning to," or and they're like, "I've heard that before." So it is a new world out there, So what do you have coming up? Because I know you have some shows coming up, and you're working on some new material or anything. I don't want to say anything. I'm not asking for jokes, or I'm not doing that. I didn't want to be like, "So what you working on right now? Let's hear something, bro." My bad.
No, but I mean, your thing about transitioning reminds me of a bit I've been working on, because I talk about like I've been working on a joke about pronouns. Like in New York, everyone's like very liberal with it. I don't know where are you based out of?
I'm out of Dallas, Texas, man.
Okay, so like in New York, everyone's like very liberal with their pronouns, and they're always like he, him, his, or something. Well, I was like, my pronouns are Jew, Jewy, Jews. And I identify as Jewy, or my pronouns are him, he, brew, or something like that.
I'm not joking around. I swear I have a joke just like that. But because I've always made the joke that I identify with Jews because I believe in God, but I don't really believe in Jesus. I really like everything that I would love to have like money and shit and stuff like that. So my pronoun, I would love, since you can pick anything you want, I would love for my pronoun to be Jewish. And so, but I swear to God, when you said that, I was like, damn, great. But that's the worst part, is that there's so many avenues to the same type of joke, man. Like I just heard this other guy, Miles, I think it's Miles Teller, but he's a local comedian around me in Denton, Texas. And I like to smoke weed, but I've always felt like those dabs and stuff, you got to torch it up. You got to do this, you got to do that. It feels like crack for stoners. And this guy says that he doesn't like dabs because it feels like drugs. It's like, damn it, he got to it. He got to it first. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, it always sucks. Like when you hear sometimes you hear things that are similar. Like I've been doing a joke for a while about like how like about having an Apple Watch, and I was walking around Disney, and my Apple Watch kept buzzing. Like it was like, "Are you working out right now?" And I thought it would be funny if I like took that into like a bedroom context. So like I'm like getting intimate, and then it's like, "Are you working out?" So things like that. But then I heard another comic with like a very similar bit to that, and I was like, "Oh man, that's like it's like I have some more tags in mind that are like different than his, but his like main punchline is very close. So maybe I'm just thinking of the same. Maybe it's just low hanging fruit kind of stuff too."
Right. There are low hanging fruits in everything. My thought right then was you're not working out hard enough. You're not doing enough for me to notice you at all. And I'm not. You're not going to catch me with the Apple Watch bit, because the only thing my Apple Watch is good for is like, where the fuck is my phone? That's all I use my Apple Watch for. That's it. Hey Siri, find my fucking phone, please.
I still have an old. My watch is like a Series 3, so I.
Dude, we might be kindred spirits, bro. I'm not even joking, man. I think this is a Series 3. I'm not even joking. See, like, dude, you're Jewish. I'm Jewish. I think we just became best friends. I'm not for sure.
Yeah.
It just happened over fucking StreamYard. I do want to thank StreamYard for that little fucking logo in the corner, dude. I tried to pay my bill for him like earlier this week, and you have to toggle whether you want yearly or monthly. And it starts out on the yearly, and that's $400 something a year. My dumbass clicked it, and I had to beg for him to give me my $400 back, so now I have to repurchase the month and everything. But they gave me my money back, which thank you, StreamYard. So they are sponsoring this episode of ChatN Out. Now, like I said, I did watch a lot of your stuff going on, so you've been interviewed a lot. And I know you like, what is there any advice for a new interview? You're like my 5th or 6th comedy interview. I've done interviews with a couple of directors, or a director, and my podcast host on Fridays, dude. You enjoy wrestling at all, Ethan?
Yeah, resting. Yeah,
wrestling like WWF or
wrestling. I think you said resting. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah.
No, of course you enjoy wrestling, you Florida old man. Like I know that's.
No, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was a little kid. Actually, my twin brother was really into wrestling when we were younger, and I didn't like it that much. But then he somehow got me back into it when we were like 10, because he wanted me to watch a tape. We went to some like video store, like when you used to rent videos and stuff. And he had this one, like it was like Titan Sports WWF, not WWE, WWF. That was like a bunch of matches.
Back in the day, yes sir.
And the match that got me back into wrestling was Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10, because it was like a really good. That was the opening match of WrestleMania 10, and I was like, me and my brother were like jumping up and down watching, because it had all these like near falls and stuff, and like we were like, that's where I got like hooked again to wrestling.
Right. And then Bret Hart had to come back and like do like the head match or whatever it was, dude. But yeah, man, we do a podcast every Friday night, dude. WWE, I call it Last WWE Tonight. We talk about stuff because I was like a fair weather fan. I'm like you, dude. I'm an old school. I like Hulk Hogan and all that stuff like that, dude. I was kind of into it. Like I just watched the documentaries, but then it kind of sucked me in with this whole Cody Rhodes, The Rock thing, and so now every Friday we do a podcast, man. So it's kind of like that. And I figured down there, and you had a twin brother, dude. How come you got to have some twin?
Yeah, I do.
Bits. How come I haven't heard any twin bits in all your stuff? I've heard the eczema stuff, dude. I'm starting looking around for that twin stuff because I've got twin boys here, dude. And they're such a pain in the ass, bro.
Oh, you do? That's cool.
Yeah. I got twin stepsons, man, and they're cool. One of them are called Muhammad. One of them called Pacino.
My brother is older than me by 3 minutes. We're identical.
Did he point that out to you? I'm older than you, because that's what they do here. Like
yeah, sometimes, yeah. No, I have some jokes about him too. Like,
okay, man, good, dude. It's crazy. You have a lot of credits for not. You haven't been doing comedy that long. You have a decent amount of credits. You've been on TV.
I think a part of it was like starting in New York, like helped, because there's more opportunities to like do like, I don't know, TV kind of stuff in New York, I guess. But like, also it was also like being at the right place. Like, I didn't know that like the Amazon thing was going to happen because the guy who ran the festival said it would happen, but then we were like, yeah, sure. But then it actually did happen, so we were like, oh wow, this is actually like legitimate.
Well, in Florida, don't you have? I mean, you said you're. I mean, are you close to Disney? There's got to be a decent. If you have a clean Type 5 or something, couldn't you do some stuff around the Mickey Mouse Club stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we go to Disney pretty often now, and it's like an hour from us. Like, I'll probably travel. Like, I used to take the subway everywhere for comedy in New York, but now it's like driving. Like, the furthest I've driven is down to like Fort Lauderdale. That's like 3.5 hours.
Right. Well, dude, I mean, you're a very funny guy. That's the most that I've been able to enjoy from doing these comedy interviews. Is I get to steal all y'all shit. No, I'm just joking. All this is recorded, so I would be busted really quick. So I would like, since you've done a lot of any tips for a young interviewer, man?
Yeah, I think the way that I like the best interviews to me is kind of like what we're doing right now. Is just having a normal conversation doesn't feel so like rigid and scripted. You know,
Right.
That's the way that I think it's best. Because if it's just like, okay, here's how long you've been doing comedy. If it's just like rattling off a bunch of like stats or something, it's not that like personable.
I feel like nobody cares that much about us, man. No offense. I mean, the only thing is maybe I look a little bit like Fred Durst and you or Corey Feldman, and they're on tour right now, dude. So we could do something together, man.
Yeah, I follow Corey Feldman on Instagram, but he doesn't follow me back though.
I wanted to go. I was gonna go see Limp Bizkit live, and but they don't have a meet and greet. I was like, why am I gonna go pay to see him if I can't? Because I want to shake that dude's hand. You know how much you got me laid in the '90s, bro? This red hat, this chubby little dude, it worked for me in the '90s, man. Like, I think I still might get laid today because of him. So
I saw them live once. It was like 2003, maybe. I saw them play at like Old Giant Stadium. It was the Summer Sanitarium tour with Metallica.
yeah,
They were one of the opening. It was like Deftones, Mudvayne, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Metallica. And my friend from high school was like, "Oh, I have an extra ticket. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." It was awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. I saw I went to the first Ozfest in Dallas. It was like Ozfest '97 or something like that. I saw my first pair of like real woman boobs within like 10 feet of me. My friend could totally see that shit on my face. He was like, "That's your first pair of boobs, isn't it?" I was like, "Shut up, yeah, shut up, dude." You know, I've seen hustlers and shit like that, but I've never had a woman that close to me show her boobs. Like, I was like, oh my god. Well, Ethan, I like to keep it kind of not short and sweet, but I don't want people to get bored with us, dude. That's my main goal in this, is try to get people to pay attention to us and, you know, show how funny you are and hopefully get some views. So you're doing shows in Florida? Are you gonna put anything more online? Because my people, I do have a decent reach around there, so my people would love to see some online stuff of you. And I got your website posted in the description of the link.
Yeah, like I put like a lot of shorts up on YouTube now, but like, I got something on my phone. Well, I'm gonna be performing at where is it? I'm gonna be performing at the Tampa Funny Bone. It used to be called the Tampa Improv, but now it's called the Tampa Funny Bone as part of the competition called Florida's Funniest. This is there it is. Yeah, this is November 6th. It's like a lineup of comics. Not doing a lot of time. Everyone's just doing like 4-minute sets, but it's gonna be at the Tampa Funny Bone this Wednesday. Doors open at 6. The show's at 7, and then and that's in Tampa. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be at in Orlando at the Barley and Vine Beer Garden. It's called Milk District Comedy. This is that's going to be on Thursday of this week. And then I think next week I got a bunch of shows. Like there's the open mic at Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven. There's a show called The Bucket List on Thursday where comics like have to riff. It's like a bucket full of audience suggestions, and you just pull the names out of a bucket and like try to make up material on the fly. And then that weekend, 15th and 16th, I'm hosting for a comedian at Laugh Out Lounge named Pat Largo.
Nice.
So I got a bunch of stuff coming up. That's like all I got this month right now. Like,
well, I did subscribe to you, so if you post any more shorts or anything, I will definitely share it out there to everybody, dude. I really appreciate you doing this with me today, dude. And I hope you continue going on. Like I said, dude, you're pretty fucking funny, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No, dude. Anytime. Like I said, dude, we do a wrestling podcast, dude, and I'm also I can keep doing this. So if you ever want to come back on, dude, and talk and just riff for a little bit longer, dude, like I have no problem at all with that, dude. This is fun as hell, dude. I really appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, dude. It's cool to see you, Ethan. I almost want to call you Corey Feldman again. No,
Yeah.
forget it. All right, man. The recording is ended.